speak like this to stand out, otherwise known as speaking through the camera, speaking through a lens, speaking to you, the one. It's a very important aspect to understand, and it's not only about where your focus is visually in a video, but it's about where you are mentally in that video. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me at my campfire. Great to see you. So I'm Carl, and I help others find their creative essence here on YouTube. Now in this video, we're going to look at the art, and it is an art, right? And it's something you've got to learn, and it is the art of speaking through this camera to an individual. That's you. That's who I'm talking to right now. Why is that important? It's because that is the natural plane of engagement. All right, that's what your viewers are looking for. We don't notice that when we're consuming something. We don't actually instinctively look for that, but innately, without realizing it, that's what we're looking for. That's what gives us that level of engagement with that individual that's presenting, which would be me to you. So this is the most important skill you need to learn when it comes to being a presenter, a content creator on YouTube. It doesn't mean you're going to be an amazing star, doesn't mean you're going to be the best filmographer on the planet, but it does mean that you're going to succeed here, all right? And I'm glad that you probably saw my video prior, and if not, you've stumbled across this first and foremost. Either which way is brilliant, because no doubt it is early in your journey or early in you re-establishing your connection with YouTube, and now you're aware of this one thing that you need to put in the forefront of your mind. Section 1 is about who are we talking to, all right? You've got to try and move past the fact that you're talking to a camera, a tripod, or whatever this is that you've got set up in front of you, and you're talking to the one, an individual, one person on the other side of that. For me, I'm trying to make that real easy. I've been able to form this ideal view of YouTube as a massive campfire. That's what it represents for me. And then that large campfire, you can break away from that, which is the overall audience of YouTube, and go and create your own little campfire. That's your tribe. That's your niche. You can bring anyone that wants to come and be part of your story joins you at this campfire. All right. So building off of that, I'm talking to a mate of mine, a friend, that's going to come and join me at my campfire, and I'm going to share my stories with them. I'm going to share my life's lessons. I'm going to share, most importantly, my own YouTube journey and how that's going to positively impact them moving forward for their own YouTube journey. Because that's what I'm all about. I'm here to help people, okay? That's what I do for a job, and that's what I'm now bringing into the YouTube space. Different forms of help and what I do for a living versus what I'm doing here, but it's still helping people, and that's what I'm passionate about doing. So that's who we're focused on talking to. And the idea of talking through the camera comes to, and I don't do this, but you're welcome to give it a try. You can actually set up potentially an image of someone on the other side, whether it's a drawing, a photo, or whatever, on just the other side of your camera. So you're looking, looks like you're looking at the lens, but you're looking at a portrait or something on the other side. And that's you looking through that camera at the one person that you're talking to. For me, I don't want to get used to having to do that, because I like to be pretty mobile. And I think for me personally, I can nail this just by talking to you. It's a person. That's how I'm viewing it. Someone sitting at my campfire. Now, in the second element I want to talk about is how to help yourself get there and free flow your speech through the camera more naturally. And I didn't think I would find the time for this at first, because I thought I'm just going to have enough time to get videos done. If you've seen any of my very first videos, you'll notice they're behind the wheel. I'm driving either to or from work, and I thought that was going to be my only time to get videos done. And they were largely ad lib, okay? And hey, they're my first few videos. I'll tell you now, your first videos are designed to be a training exercise, right? It's for you to figure out what works and what doesn't, both just in filming, but also what sort of content you approach. Things like this. You're learning this now. I'm teaching you now. This is something I didn't even know at first, so I had to learn it. But if you saw my first few videos, they weren't on point because this technique alone was missing. But this other element that I'm talking to you about is also missing, and that is scripting, or actually I'm going to call it reading and reciting, okay? Because for me, I can't do a script. I don't do scripts. I definitely don't have the time to get nailed down in a script, right? But I do just jot down bullet points and maybe a few sub points, at least early on in the piece, while I'm reciting. So you write down your bullet points. I'm still really early on the piece, so also on the side, I'll jot down a few, sort of things that either they're a sub point or on the side, and they relate back to content creators that I'm subscribed to and that I watch. I take little bits out of what they do that I like, and I play test them on the fly to see if they resonate well with me in a real-time approach and delivering them to you. So I include that sort of in my bullet point, but it could be like half a page. It doesn't have to be huge. And that's all I need. But what I'm doing now is I'm actually using my driving time, right, to recite that. So I have my little notes for me, obviously safely, and like I'll read them when I'm stopped at lights or anything. I just have a little note there, and I'm talking to myself in the car. Okay. It is what it is. That's what I'm doing. I'm reciting what I plan on saying here in the car. So I'm using my time in the car now more so than thinking that that was my be-all and end-all time for recording. It's now my time to recite and get familiar with what I want to talk about, so that when I'm actually here talking to you, it's a bit more natural and flow, and I've just done a little bit of groundwork to get to here. I still don't have a lot of time in my day, but I now have the time to get outside to my campfire and talk to you in the way that I am, which I'm far more thrilled about, to be fair. But yeah, so that's step 2, is the importance there of helping to prepare yourself based on what time you have. Some people can script a huge amount, and that's fine if they want to do that. And some people will want to edit a huge amount, and they have a lot of equipment. Some people even have a team of people working on a channel, right? And so they may only film once a month to bring out what they bring out. I'm not like that. So mine's more story-driven, informative. I want to be here to help you, and I feel that I can't help you with just a single flash video once every so often. It needs to be real. It needs to be talking to you, the one, and giving you this information as I learn it. All right, so I take the do's and don'ts, and then I apply the do's, and I tell you what works. All right, so moving on to number 3, which is stop overthinking it. Okay, it's very easy to get caught up on this whole image thing, and I mean our own self-image. So we get concerned about us being on a video, putting it out to 8 billion people. Well, not that 8 billion people are going to watch it, but maybe 1 billion people will watch it. And, well, not watch it. 1 billion people aren't going to watch it. A lot of people might watch it. All right, let's not give it a number. And we become self-conscious of how we look, how we sound, where we're setting up. Is this the right sort of environment? Don't get caught up in that, all right? You don't focus on you and yourself and bugs flying around you. Worry about your mate, your friend who needs your help, and they've asked you the question, and that's why you're delivering this to them. You're talking to them. Just a normal conversation that we're having here right now. That's how it needs to be for you to get that maximum reach to those that want to see your story and want to be part of it and learn as they go. So don't get hung up. It's such a society has become so image conscious. I mean, it's been like that for a long time, but it's not a nice place to be fair. And that's why I use this whole campfire approach, because back in the days of old, we sat at a campfire and there might have been a number of caravans or carts of people grouped in an area, had a fire, and you didn't know half of them from a bar of soap. And it didn't matter. Your inhibitions were gone around a campfire. Everyone shared something. They came to the party. They shared their stories. They shared whatever it was that they created. And they didn't care if they were the best at what they did. They were just proud of what they do. Because they knew that someone would find benefit in it, because they found benefit in anything that was shared to them. Whether it was a kid's drawing by a kid running, around the edge of the campfire, to someone sharing a song, a joke, a bit of literature, it didn't matter. They just loved it. And there were no inhibitions. Anxiety wasn't a thing. It was just a wonderful place and a time to be. We might not be able to go back in time per se, and I'm using the campfire analogy as a virtual sort of segue into what YouTube means to me. But it helps me get that friend-to-friend approach. Right, don't think of yourself. So don't overthink it. Don't think of yourself in any of this. You start thinking about your image and everything, try to shut off to that and start thinking about the person, the one, you, that needs some insight, some help with what you're delivering. That's what you need to focus on, is the person that you're talking to right now. And that'll help you stop thinking about yourself. You need to focus on them, not you. It's not about you, it's about them. It's about you. So and then number 4, to close this off, is don't focus on the end result. All right. So even though you've got your bullet points laid out, you got a fair idea of how they're going to go, and you're now delivering your material, just do not focus on the end of the video. Don't focus at the end of the end. You're focusing on just each little segment in conjunction with how it helps the one on the other end. That's all it is. And the natural flow will come. I'm not concerning myself with how many minutes a video goes on for. I just need to make sure that what I'm getting across feels genuine, because it is. I'm genuinely here to help you. I'm just a genuine person, telling you what I know, what I'm learning as I go. And this is a very important one. Speaking through the camera to the one, you can do it, and you will do it. Just as I'm learning how to do this while I'm talking to you now. And just don't focus on the end of the video, the end game. That's not what it's about, okay? It's about getting that whole story right the way through in a method that your friend understands on the other end. Well, thank you for sitting with me at my campfire for another story and another bit of advice. I think it's a very important piece of advice. Definitely. Thankfully, I've discovered it only a few videos into my own journey, and I can share that with you now. And so if your journey's starting with this understanding, you're even far better off, which is absolutely brilliant. So thanks again for joining me around my campfire. I really do appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.